protect him, but her friends thought that it was necessary for him to speak. And I heard some frightening on the set, and against his mother's objections.
So keep in mind, against his mother's objection,
she wanted to protect him, but
she wanted to protect him.
Her friends thought that it was necessary for him to speak. And
her friends thought it was necessary for him to speak. After hearing the whole interview myself, it was absolutely necessary for him to speak, because some of these lame people on the internet, lame people on the internet, would have taken her words and twisted around. Because even though there's a grown man next to her son, corroborating what she said, they still found a way to blame her for it. So how worse would it be if this young man, was not there?
I heard some frightening audios, voice notes just now, of your father threatening you. I heard a video of your father saying you should jump in front of a truck and die.
Listen to music without muting the world around you. Live stream your creations from your POV.
Well, let me address that.
Yes.
First of all, I was on my aunt's side. We were all doing business because I was having some issues at work in Ike'S. Then I went to my aunt's side. My cousin was like, "Come, can we do some work together? Our family, we can take care of each other." I went over there. My aunt started trying her best to convince me to get my younger ones over there so they can have a better life in Germany or whatsoever, like as if we were
An aunt, it sounds like it's Emeka Ike's sister, was trying to get them over to Germany. Okay.
Issues. At first I took offense, but I was like, maybe I can use this opportunity to find peace somewhere. If his family is trying to reason, maybe I can get her to talk with him and they'll have, I was just thinking like there can be something out of it. I was going to call him.
Hold on.
I was just thinking like there can be something out of it. They'll have, I was just thinking like there can be something out of it.
Hold on.
Reason. Maybe I can use this opportunity to find peace somewhere.
To find peace somewhere.
His family is trying to reason. Maybe I can get her to talk with him and they'll have, I was just thinking like there can be something out of it. I was going to call him a day before he came back on Sunday, because he did arrive in Nigeria on Sunday.
Right, the same Sunday.
I was going to call him, but my phone unfortunately got bad. And it was just like, that's destiny, that's God right there. I was like, okay. He got back, and then I saw the video. Someone actually sent it to me, like, have you seen this? And I was like, no, I've not seen it. I was like, what is going on? And I just watched the video, and I was like, God, this is insane. Someone I'm trying to form peace with, I'm telling his sister things to like get him to understand how things should play out. I'm not trying to dictate what should happen in this incident. I'm trying to tell him that.
All right, let's stop right there. So far, it sounds like he was trying to make peace, right? It sounds like he was trying to get some kind of peace of mind, make peace with his father. That's his words, right? The father might turn around and say he's a liar, right? We never know, but that's his words. But again, when you give us your word, and then we look at your countenance, shout out to Chinye, right? And then we look at how you're moving, we're forced to kind of like, make some assumptions from that in terms of what kind of person is this person. Every human being do this. We prejudge you out of how you behave in public, your conduct. We do prejudge you. We don't judge you. We're not capable of judging you like that. Okay? Unless we're outrightly cursing you out and say this is a bad mother or something stupid like that. But we do prejudge, meaning we might protect ourselves from you if you move a certain type of way. Like, I'll be your whining. Yeah. You're barking like that against your own son, and you don't think I'll protect myself around you, or I'll like make sure this guy is not gonna bring worry to me. I'll like, yeah, you bring worry to me. I have worry. I have bigger worry. I will prepare myself. I will prejudge you out of your conduct in public. Okay?
You doing what?
That's the way it works. So when I match his countenance, now we don't know him. I still can't prejudge too far, right? But with what he's saying, he's looking for some kind of peace. I believe him more. Okay? Now that's just mine, right? But if you're going to neglect all of that, and you are now start to justify, say our grandmother did worse, and did this. If that's what you bring into this conversation, now I'll look at you sideways too, the same way I'll look at Emeka. Kill me, sir. Yeah, I know some of our grandmothers did that. It's still wrong, sir. Abima, Auntie Ebere. Anyway, let's continue. Wait. Sesmoa says this is the problem with that mindset of when they are older, they will reach out. Parents absolve themselves of responsibility, because time is not your mate. Everything is in seasons. Absolve themselves of responsibility in relationships with their children. Yeah, they do. And we can call it out in love. It's wrong. It's just wrong. Right? You're missing out literally on life and love. Not just that. Somebody else has made, that's additional layer of life they have to deal with. These kids have to deal with. When it doesn't have to be, it's avoidable. Right? So at least it doesn't have to be into the future. So we can't keep normalizing bad behavior into the future. We can call it out and say, okay, leave our parent alone, but we gotta do better. We have to do better. Let's continue.
There has to be peace. But he didn't want to hear that. He kept saying I was dictating for him. So then I sent him a message that we need to talk. And he was like, all right, we need to talk. It's fine. Then I added that, okay, but I'm not happy about you going online and talking about private affairs. And he just passed out and told me I will not tell him what happens, that I'm not the father. I was just like, no, dude, I'm not trying to, you're not understanding where I'm coming from. And he just kept going, okay, daddy, okay, papa. And then he said whether she wants to kill my siblings so that it will be like it's only him that is alive. Let himself kill himself. Everyone should just kill themselves. Who says they can kill themselves to their children? He said he has other kids my age around the world. And I was like, okay, is that supposed to faze me? Okay. The next morning.
All right, so there you have it. You know how, what do they call them? Like a little boy who spazzed out and said, right, right. That's the picture he just painted, and he was doing that to his own son, according to him, right? The son is trying to make peace, right? And the only answer you give, like, maybe I should just go and buy myself. Now, the question is, how far do we need to go when we push against you before you hit your frustration threshold? Do you get there like that? Temper tantrum. Thank you, D-Love. She gets me. Right? How close do you get to that? It's not, we expect children to do that. Okay? We expect children to do that. I don't expect Michael Ike to even do that. Okay? I don't even expect Michael Ike to do that either. Very, very important. But life happens. It happened, right? He's frustrated. That's his personality. That's who he is. But look at his temper tantrum at 57. That's temper issue. That's temperament issues. That's anger issues. Where's gracious greatness? Maybe he's busy. Yeah, let's continue.
I got a 10 minutes video. It's not the first time. He's always sending me names, insulting me like, you're doing music, you will never prosper. I'll see you on the side of the road and I'll spit on you. Don Jazzy will never see you, blah, blah, blah.
What's your father said to you?
Hold on. He sent me a 10 minutes video, a VN right now, in the morning, telling me how I should respect myself, that I will not be the father and all that, la 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 la. And I just texted him about that you have made a mistake. And I have to tell you, to as far the disrespect that you have led on this family, dishonoring our family's name, like, this just means you have made a big mistake. He kept going, sending more VNs, more VNs, more VNs. About 8 VNs, I sent them to my mom. My mom could not even listen to it. She was trying to calm me down, that I'm trying to calm her down. I was so surprised, man. I was like, this can't be someone I should be proud of. I started thinking like, oh.
Thank you. This is why it's good to have a monitor. I can see over there. Yeah, you said no audio. Thank you, Jerry. He was trying to calm his father down. There are 2 possible scenarios. Okay? 2 possible scenarios, right? Worst case scenario, best case scenario. Always look at life like that. You can look at life as best case scenario, worst case scenario, and also look at short and long term. There's certain actions you act that's beneficial for you in the short term, makes you feel better in the short term, but it's not good for you long term, and vice versa. Or best case scenario, worst case scenario. So as we're looking at this situation like this, right? As we're looking at this situation, the best case scenario was that his countenance was like this. It was like that, you know, that interview, the same interview I watched, though, that everybody just said, they canceled him for no reason. They canceled that man. You remember that auntie from TikTok that said they canceled him for no reason? I said they didn't cancel this guy for no reason. Just listen a little bit longer. You can see the way he sees life. His outlook on life will make him get cancelled because he will try to control narrative from the wrong angle, which he has done over the past few days, right? He even tried to stop them from going on the interview, right? Using controlling, manipulative tactics. In the same breath, he was talking about manipulation. So this boy, this young man, this young gentleman saw the interview and said, Dad, best case scenario, Dad, you brought disrespect on our family. You shouldn't have. What is the worst case scenario? How dare you? How dare you bring disrespect on our family? This guy, you are wrong. You've been doing this for so long, right? So it's probably neither of the two. It's probably somewhere in between, right? Okay. But let's go with the worst case scenario. If it was the worst case scenario, then Emeka Ike will be presented with a crisis, an active crisis in his hands, right? That is when his skills will be tested. Life skills, life and relationship skills. That is when he'll be tested. If you have a son, we just talk crazy at you because they have a different of an opinion or something. That is your moment of test. What are you going to do with that moment? You know what most people do? They dig a deeper hole for themselves. They employ all of the tactics that never worked. Manipulative, including when they call other people manipulative. Controlling behavior, including when they say other people are controlling. Right? But just their actions. Just look at their actions. That's really all that matters, right? They will employ all those things. So it gets worse and worse and worse. And before you know it, their family is having the need. Like, I need to speak my truth. This guy is painting us in the bad light. We need to speak up. Why? Because the leadership has failed. And sometimes you have to speak up. Sometimes you have to speak up. It's just that you want to make sure you're speaking up within controlled environments. I saw somebody said something earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Natu, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me see here. Somebody says something about Chude earlier. Aha! Sesmo says the wisest choice they made was to go to Chude's platform. I agree 100%. Okay? Not particularly for today, but you need to make, if you're going to speak up, it needs to be done within controlled environment. Okay? Controlled environment means today is not the controlled environment, but you know what I mean. Like there's a certain, you gotta be careful because the certain things you say out into the public, you can't get back. And you're going to hurt yourself in the process too. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. What's going on, Brother Ben? Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
What do I do when I bring a woman home or kids? Who is going to, this guy bless my kids for me? Like, I don't understand. I'm starting making me get scared.
He's starting to get scared. What kind of father do I have? That's what he's saying. Right? At first, some people are like, why is he talking about his father as this guy? There's a lot that has happened. That's why. Okay? He's trying to like, okay, this guy is going to be my father. Is going to bless my kid.
Am I going to have issues like this? People always tell me, oh, you're having effects that your father has. This agitates on this thing. And I'm starting to reflect on myself that maybe it's better I start to keep quiet and slow down. Because I really don't want to end up like this guy. I really don't want to end up like this guy. He said I should not come out here and talk to you guys today, that I should not dare step foot against him, that he will crush me. I think we play the VA for him, right? That he will crush me if I ever dared go against him. I just want to see what happens, man. I'm here for the ride.
That smile is Emeka Ike's ride. This boy might have taken after his father in a lot of ways. Obviously, again, he's in a controlled environment, right? And he's the victim. I heard a few people said they're both the victim today in the chats of Auntie B. No. The children are the victim. No. No. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
The children are the victim. Okay? He's no longer a victim because an adult right now. That's just the cards that he's been dealt, and he better learn how to deal with it. He better hire a coach or find a coach, a mentor to help him navigate life, because everything he's gone through as a child will become part of things he has to manage. But he's an adult now, and that's his responsibility to manage that. That's the harsh reality about life, especially as a man. Okay? But if you're going to pick victims among all that are involved, please, no, not if children are involved, if you're going to assume, let me say, okay, because she could be a victim, right? We know that she's a victim of verbal abuse because we heard those things, those voice notes, right? But if you're going to make any assumptions beyond that, please, I beg. When you say both of them are victims, you are still saying this. You're looking for angle who is right and wrong. We don't know. Okay.
Why do you think? One of your mom's friends said something off stage that he has been bashing this woman for 10 years.
Yeah. All right.
He has been bashing this woman for 10 years.
Yeah.
Why do you think he just can't let her? She's left the marriage. You know, she hasn't spoken out against him in public. And you are here, he says she's stolen his children. And you're here saying, but you can't live with him because obviously your dad says he wants to crush you. So what do you think is happening?
To my
that
father.
Yes.
My mom said he's a sore loser. That's the truth. He uses.
Wait. Mother said that?
He's a sore loser.
What do you think is happening?
To my
that
father.
Yes.
My mom said he's a sore loser.
He said to my father, that is a real moment. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a real moment. For everybody, at least I've seen at least 2,000 people say, why is he calling his father this guy? Relax, rest. Okay? Rest.
What do you think is happening?
To my
that
father.
Yes.
My mom said he's a sore loser. That's the truth. He uses
Mom's mouth is sharp too. My mom said he's a sore loser.
love to cover it up. Oh, this is love. It's not me. It's you. I'm doing this for you.
I'm doing this for you.
It's not. He just cannot lose.
He cannot lose. That's deep. And when he loses, it's everybody else's fault. When you lose and it's everybody else's fault, I beg, tell me how you're going to get lessons out of losing, because it's okay to lose sometimes. It's okay to fail. In fact, success is a function of failure. I don't know how you want to shape that, form it back and forth. That's always true. Success is a function of failure. But if it's everybody else's fault when you lose, how are you going to, if you're giving your problems away to other people, how are you going to learn the lessons? Lady Tam, hello Lady Tam, says a man's temperament and self-control is mostly tested under triggers, pressure, exactly, when there's crisis. Emeka needs to do some self-check. Yep. Life will not say, I want big mouth WhatsApp group, let us brief. It's real. That boy exposed his mother really quickly there. Don't worry, we'll let you brief. Okay?
Let be poor. Breathe.
Yeah, we'll let you brief. Let's continue. Threw his mother under the bus. But he is a sore loser. That's what we've seen. Because he used his own mouth, said she left. She wanted to leave. And she left. And we beg. Everybody beg. Our family member beg. Okay, now we must win. We must beat her. That's sore losing. That's sore loser right there. Yeah.
Everything she went through, we started going through it too, Abuja.
When you were living with him, what kind of thing?
Everything.
Physical violence?
Watch this.
I don't want to go into that because that's very private. And I didn't come here to.
Watch
When
this.
you were living with him?
We're going to go back. I'm going to go back a little bit.
We started going through it too, Abuja.
Now take that back. It's not like his father. This would have been a good moment for him to throw his father right under the bus. If this was him, he would be doing exactly that based off of what we've seen so far. So I'm going to take that back. It's not exactly like his father. Maybe from a warrior standpoint, because he was like, I'm just here for that ride. That smile is... You know, people that are quiet, that knows when to put full stop on their mouth, they are much more dangerous. Not to. They are much more dangerous. Because there's so much more to wonder about. There's so much more to look forward to. And they're dangerous in a good and a bad way. They can be dangerous. It's a double-edged sword. It can be used to destroy. It can be used to build too. Yeah, obviously, I'm sharing it with you so you can use it to build. Right? This boy knew when to put full stop to his mouth. Damn, that's a big deal.
Everything she went through, we started going through it too, Abuja.
When you were living with him, what kinds of things?
Everything.
Physical violence?
I don't want to go into that.
I don't want to.
Very private. I didn't come here to go private. I just wanted to be here to support my mom.
Yeah.
Everything she says is correct.
So I'm here just to support my mom. Wow. He deserved, just for that moment, he deserves a round of applause. That was good. All you have to do is not do enough of that. Everybody else will fall in line. It's not every time you have to say something. Hey, Biafra, how you there? Hey, Biana. Good to see you here. That is why, and then he said, that is why I said he was very self-aware. That's all it takes. If you're in public, like, I'm not saying you should be perfect inside. You might even be an angry guy inside like his father. But the moment you're in public and you can read the room and say, hey, this is not the space for that. If you do enough of that, you will beat the rest of mankind, because the rest of mankind are mad. All right. Yeah, it's a big deal. Brother Ben said, I support the boy 1000%. I can feel his pains and the need to protect his mom. But Allah, Merry Christmas. I'm doing good. Merry Christmas to you. I feel for Michael. He's worried about his future. That's some pressure on him. Yeah, that's something he's going to need to learn how to navigate. You know, it's going to be easier for him to have a conversation with him and say, hey, these are the upsides, these are the downsides. These are the cards you're presented with that God has put in your path. It looks like negative, but it's going to help you become a better person. But if he doesn't have somebody to help him navigate that, it can absolutely hunt him down and hurt him. Sorry about that, guys. My mom is late, but I'm still fighting for her, for what dad's family did to her when I was younger. Yeah. There's a lot coming from that era. It's a lot. Women self go drag women. I'm so proud of the boy. There is a sense of maturity and emotional quotient. Yes, he has. But in all, I think with the right people around him, he will be fine. Yes, because we all come to the table. Even when you're perfect, it's a negative too. When everything is too perfect in that family, it becomes a negative too. Because life is not perfect like that. You know? So it just depends on what angle we're coming from. Life is all a frame of reference and stuff, or references. But let's continue.
Everything.
Everything she says is correct.
Everything.
So your dad was physically abusive to your mom, that's correct.
Yeah.
Your dad was emotionally abusive to your mom, that's correct.
Very true.
Your dad says your mom
So Chude came from another angle there, and he's saying, yeah.
denied him access to you guys. That's not true.
That's not true.
I only denied him access to the younger ones
under 18.
because of the threats,
Yeah.
because of the, I'm coming with the army, I'm coming with the navy, I'm going to break down your house, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
That he
And
actually found our location.
He was looking for our location, look for where we were living, and these kids were scared. You understand? And you're not being responsible. He's not paying school fees, he's not doing anything, and all these threats and all that. And I said, okay, listen, these children need to calm down. They are adults. They can have a relationship with them. He has their phone number.
All right. If you think we don't know Emeka Ike like that, let's be honest. Let's stop the cap. We don't know him like that, okay? We just don't know. All right?
Stop the cap.
But based on the little we know so far, if you think that sounds like him, put a 1 in the chat. If you're still not sure, put a 2 in the chat. What they just described, if you think that sounds like the little you know about that small guy that you don't really know, but you saw the video on the internet, you heard the voice notes, put a 1 in the chat if you think that sounds like him. I want to see something really quickly. Put a 2 in the chat if you're still not sure. Okay. And put a 3 in the chat if you think it's not him. I don't care. I know him personally. That's not him. Let me see. Not to say wah 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 wah. Oh Lord, Ijeaye, is it Ijeaye? Shout out to you. It says 1. Sesmoa says 1 multiplied by infinity. Ebi say wah 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 wah. Neni say not sure. Okay. Neni say not sure. Listen, my question was framed kind of like a trick question. You know. Gigi says 1. Oh my God. You know, the reality here is that I have to look at all of these ones. I see there's a 2 from Neni. Here's the lesson in that. Most people are not going to give you a second chance. Most people are not going to give, they don't have the patience for that. Patience is a scarce commodity when you have to give it. Not only when you have to give it, even when you have to receive it. Some people don't appreciate patience like that when you're giving it to them because their trauma might be misinterpreting it. right? But you see, all this one is what people see, is what they feel. That's how you make them feel around you. And oftentimes, they're not going to tell you. Like they're telling us in the chat right now. They will just kind of shy away from you. They just dodge, jump or pass. They will just avoid you. That's majority of people. I'm not talking about the boss people. I'm talking about majority of people. They don't have time for that. They don't. Okay? They don't, because people care. At some point, shout out to you, FickNet. Thank you for the $20 super chat that you gave right after I was already left yesterday. I appreciate you. I saw your $20. Thank you. Right? Gotta be careful. Just because you're right, it's not enough. You need to pay attention to how people feel around you. Not overly obsessed with that, because that can cross the line of you got to make people happy. No, it's somewhere in between. You can't make everybody happy. So the key to all of this is to work on yourself. Continue to work on yourself. Because when you are aware, social awareness, social skills, social awareness, just be aware, self-awareness. It's all I'm asking for, right? When you are aware, at least half of the battle is won. Let's continue, but the reality is all of this once. That becomes the reality, because perception is reality. Even when all of the ones are wrong, pay attention to what I just said. Even when all of the ones are wrong, they're not going to wait until they are wrong to figure it out. They'll just avoid you, because there are 8 billion people out here.
Numbers, they block and unblocking because of this back and forth erratic thing going on and all that.
They were blocking and unblocking their father. That's what she's saying.
But for the 2 younger ones, I said, when he is responsible to them, then he can have access to them. The court judgment is clear. He's supposed to be paying fees. He's supposed to be providing certain amounts for each of them every month, and then he has access to them. As long as he gives me 48 hours.
Wow.
And I don't have an issue with that. I don't. He's the one who hasn't done what he should be doing. But instead, he comes to social media space to say things.
That's easy, because you know how Nigerians are.
He's like, no, I didn't come to social media space. I only went to Robbing Minds. But by that's social media. That is social media. Okay, when you go to Robbing Minds, majority of people that know about that show on Channels TV are on the internet. All medias, period. Okay? Oh, by the way, the phone message, the voice note is also a form of medium. You don't say stuff like that. You really shouldn't say stuff like that, but especially on medium. Yeah. Is this 48 hours he was saying 3 months notice? He called it 3 months. Yeah. He probably had it all the time it would take him to travel from Abuja to wherever she's at, or from Lagos. You know how they do. You know how it's turned $100 million now to, naira, to 480 million naira. Let me just adjust the number so it can sound better. That's what it's looking like. But it doesn't even matter what the specific numbers are. All we know is that, he needs help. Because the worst case scenario in this situation is that these people are lying. If these people with this calm demeanor are lying against you, it's still the reality. That's your problem. You should ask them, why are you lying? In private. But that's not what happened. No, that's not what happened. Interesting. Go and sleep, drink water, take a shower. That's what happened? That's not what I remember. I don't know why you don't remember that. But it was 3 months at the court. No, it was 48 hours. Wait. The documents. It says 48 hours. Well, this 3 months means that, okay, let's go back to court. Patience. And sort that out. Make sure that we're on the same page. It takes a lot of patience. It's easier said than done. You're right. That's what happens when a home is broken. You have to be very patient. The courts will drag it out. That patience you say you don't have, you will have it by force, by fire. If the court comes into your matter, that patience you don't have, you will have it. Times 10,000. Especially, God help you, is Nigeria. You go collect. I'm telling you. You don't have patience? You don't have patience, right?
Are you playing? What type of playing is this? This is playing. Why I?
You don't have patience? You don't have patience. They will teach you patience at the court. When the judge is supposed to show up, you see what Tyrese did last month? Tyrese was like, the judge did not show up to court. He tried to change the judge. The judge said, your papa. You want to change me? Your papa. If you end up in that system, it doesn't matter if you're man or woman. No. I'm telling you, you collect. Do everything in your power to nurture your relationship. If you already ended up that situation, that's fine. That's the crisis. That's the cards you're being dealt. There's a reason why God took you through that path. Okay? But what do you have right now? What do you do with it? That's what matters. Do you have the skills? Nobody's life is perfect. Even those that quote unquote have been married for 20 years. Nobody's life is perfect. They know how to see God. All of it, my problems are a blessing. They are opportunities, and they work with it. That's the difference. That's the difference. Okay? Pay attention, please.
On social media, so I want to preempt that question. People will say that your mother has turned you against your dad, and that's why you are here to let you respond to that.
When I met my mom, the first thing I said was, I really hate my father.
When you met your mom for
When I
the
met
first
my mom
time,
for the first time.
I
What was the
had
first thing I
to
said?
start working on him. I really had to tell
Wow.
him who your father is. Not that I'm saying it for you to hate him, but just so that you can manage your relationship with him. He doesn't know how to manage his relationship with people. You have to be the one to now know that, okay, this negativity.
And this
is not
person
going to
has a
affect
loose
me. This
conscom.
thing is not going to be, the deciding factor in my life and all that, because this is who he is.
this is for them.
When I met her, she has not said one thing.
All right. We don't believe him. We don't believe him. It must be that the mother has been manipulating him. This grown person. Mother has been manipulating him. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rọra máa fa igbó. Let's take it easy on ourselves. Bunch is just saying one. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rọra máa fa igbó. Okay. Have you paid attention to, like, most divorces, somebody is accusing the other person of manipulation? If both of you are accusing each other of manipulation, there's more that you need to learn. There's more. It's not, obviously, it just got more complicated. Okay. I've been wondering since this started whether Emeka is acting a movie. Stella, shout out to you, Stella. I've seen him play that character in movies very convincingly. However, based on his latest utterances, I know. It is what it is. We don't know, but that's the assumption we're going to make when it comes down to it. If I had to choose to avoid this person or engage them, most people will shy away from that if they have options. Unless you're like their survival, you represent a form of survival for them, they will shy away from them. Nobody wants person that seems like they will obviously, like, for sure bring trouble into your life. Okay, and they're not gonna sit down there and be like social media people and say, he's right. No, they're not gonna make that chance. They're not gonna take the chance. They're just gonna make an assumption like, this is who you are. That's why it's probably more important to read the room than to be perfect. Be a perfect person. Okay, no, MOP, that is Robin Media. No, it's both. They actually air it on Channels TV. It's Robin's it's Robin Minds. That's the name of the platform, and they air it on Channels TV. You can see it on their channel as well as on both. If he was happy with his new family, why come out and rant? Maybe there's a facade going on there. Maybe they haven't hit that crisis yet. Maybe it's fresh. Who knows, right? But it's inevitable to come. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't get himself to the space where he can get the skills he need, yeah, that's why 75% of second, third marriages end up in divorce, because people always point fingers, and they don't really. You can't learn when you're busy spending all your energy on pointing fingers. It's an oxymoron. They don't go. Yeah, you get it. You get it. You get it. You get it, or you don't get it.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
Let's continue.
You met your mother for the first time. She had not said
Wow,
one thing against your
3
dad.
years.
I'm sure he's
When he met his mother for the first time, he said, I really hate my father.
just hearing
What does that mean to meet your mother for the first time? They were too little when she left?
some things for the
For the
first
first
time
time.
because I kept a lot of things away from them.
So your dad thought that your mother was bad-mouthing him to you guys.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she was not saying any.
At all. At all.
And you were the one that told her the first time after you had lived with him.
Everything that's happening is just her telling us not to lash out. And we should calm down. We should just...
She was trying to say that's who it is. You need to learn how to manage your relationship with that very important person in your life. That's what most of us have had to do. And we can normalize that because everybody's not going to be perfect. You can only control yourself. You can't control other people. Okay? That's what most of us have had to do. We've had to manage our relationships. Okay? It was on Robbie Media, not social media. Wahala. My head said 1, but my heart says 2 because the son was willing to mend their relationship before his TV interview. Right. I know you were thinking of it as a tricky question. Like, the ultimate answer is that Emeka is not a bad person. He's a man that doesn't have the skills, life skills. Okay? And let's acknowledge that Emeka is a bad person to someone. If they're on the receiving end of his behavior, it makes sense that they see him as a bad person. And I'm offending that person right now. Because how dare you say he's not a bad person? He's absolutely a monster, right? I can see why they will say that, right? But if this end up being your father, the mother is right. That's who he is. You need to learn how to manage your relationship around him. You are now a grown man. He doesn't know how to manage his relationship, but God made you come through this man for a reason, for whatever reason, we don't know. But that's your fate. You should manage your relationship with that person if you can manage your relationship with that person. That's what she was trying to say. It's not always feasible. If you can't pour from an empty cup, you can't pour from an empty cup. You gotta be careful. All right, let's continue.
Because we were the ones realizing things ourselves.
Thank you.
I was in Abuja, I was going about my day, and I just realized, wait, why am I saying I never saw my father beat my father? Why? I said,
Hold on. Hey, baby. What's up? You okay? Can you keep it quiet, baby? Please? Daddy's on the show. Okay? Good, mommy. All right. Hold on 1 second. I got distracted for a second here.
Abuja, I was going about my day, and just her telling us not to lash out. And we should calm down. We should just see through. Because we were the ones realizing things ourselves. I was in Abuja, I was going about my day, and then I just realized, wait, why am I saying I never saw my father beat my mother? That's why.
Some people can't comprehend that. That moment where he got to that moment and he said, wait, why am I saying I didn't see? That can happen to a child. Welcome to the real world. That's the human brain for you. Okay? Yes, absolutely. It can happen. You can actually tell yourself lies and believe it. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah. You can tell yourself a lie and believe it. And by the way, you'll find enough evidence, weird as fake evidence around you to justify the BS. You will. Everybody, I always say, nobody cares about anything outside of their feelings. Everybody buys into whatever idea they buy into with their emotions. And they justify the bullshit with logic later on. Or give the little cutie a hug from the internet aunties. I did. Yeah. So I'm telling you, that's the real word. That's why you need a lot of patience. So when somebody is saying one thing, you want to make sure you understand where they're coming from, not just go with what they're just saying. You're not saying they're a liar. Oftentimes, they're liars.
Apa the lie. Sabi lie.
Okay, some of them are just liars.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always...
All right. But if this a person in a relationship with you, you don't want to just tell them they're lying. Okay? Because actually you might just be the liar.
Apa the lie. Sabi lie.
Just be patient with yourself. Take your time to understand where they're coming from. Because people's experiences in the same events can be quite different. People's experience of the same event in them same self. If you were a child and somebody had manipulated you, and if yes, you might start to believe in lies. If a lie is being told long enough, it becomes the truth. Yeah. It becomes the truth. Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
I said, where did that come from? My mom was like, oh, you're a child. You can easily manipulate a kid. So it was like a dream to me, like that never happened.
So when you were with your dad, he began to convince you that the things that you had seen did not happen.
Did not happen. It did not happen. So that's why she said I hated her. That's true.
Yeah.
I did. Because to me, she left. She didn't want anything to do with me.
That's how dangerous it is.
The manipulation that was used against me. That my mother doesn't want anything to do with me.
Wow.
My mother has moved on with men. She's doing drugs at the hotel. I fought with kids everywhere. I went to school, and I kept fighting everyone. I hated what my mother was to me. And when I found out that I was wasting my time, I had to run here.
I taught my client Summer here how to use webinars.
Wow. Oh, this boy has been manipulated to tell lies against his father. He's been manipulated by this woman to tell lies against his father. You're such a bad mother for bringing... Take it easy on yourself. Listen, we don't know. But you can ask me, what do I believe? I believe him. And one of the reasons why I believe him and believe both of them is I'm hearing a level of accountability that I have not heard from the other side. He said I hated my mother. And everything he's saying aligns with what we know about the emotional mental health of a child that's been manipulated, intentionally or unintentionally. It's actually worse when it's unintentionally, because you don't know what you're doing and you're raising kids. It's actually worse, because at least somebody's manipulating, we can avoid them. I mean, if they're doing it intentionally, we can say, stop, we'll catch you, stop doing that. But when they truly believe their own lies, yeah.
So essentially, just to show that people get it correctly, you were with your dad, it's blocked off access from your mom. You couldn't speak to her for what, 8 years or something thereabouts, a few years. And it was by yourself you realized.
So they couldn't speak for a few years, but they were with him for 10 years. So people are mixing that together. They couldn't speak with her for a while.
That one, your daddy was gaslighting you,
Yes.
yeah? And that you hated him because of the way he was treating you.
Yes.
That's what your mom had nothing to do with that realization. You came to that conclusion by yourself. What do you want your dad to do or stop doing?
Nothing. I don't want anything from I think it's 4 days ago, I realized I don't want anything from this one.
Now, that would be a lie. I'm not sure if he means to tell that lie. I think he means what he's saying, but it's a lie. The reality is that he needs his father. Okay? That's the reality. He needs his father. You know, and that's the saddest part about all of that. You know, he needs his father. And the mother has told him the harsh truth. That's who he is. Even if he finds some tools, find a coach to help him manage his temperament, manage his relationship, you know, his personality is his personality. You should still have the tools yourself to manage that relationship as well. He needs his father. He's numb. The mother is also numb. They're kind of numb. Let me tell you how deep this goes. The ex-wife needs him because her children needs their father. They don't have to come back together in a romantic way. They don't have to. But it's just a lot more easier. Life is a lot more easier when people have a relationship that they can manage. That's what it comes down to. You know? Look at his face. His face is telling you more than his words. He needs his father. I don't think he's probably ever enjoyed a father who listens to him just because. I don't need him to believe me. I don't need him to accept what I'm saying. I just need him to listen. The African traditional Nigerian man group chat said, I paid all your school fees. What do you mean you need me? Baba, you have to go to school. You're an illiterate. If you said that, you are an illiterate. Oh, don't let I don't care how much PhD you have. Don't let anybody deceive you. You're an illiterate. Oh, I'm just warning you. I'm also still you. It will happen. You're an illiterate. You think education is expensive? Try ignorance. You're looking at one of the examples in front of you right now. When a man demands children's love and loyalty, then something is definitely wrong because it should come naturally provided he's being upright. Yep. On Auntie B's show, someone was making excuses for Emeka that he was frustrated for the boy dropping out of school. What he just narrated explained the issue why he dropped out of school. Yeah, if I was this boy, I probably would have dropped out of school too. You know. I agree he needs his father's love and approval. Yes. Stella, yes. Healthy co-parenting. Yes. Yeah, actually a little bit beyond that. Healthy co-parenting is a function of having a relationship with your ex. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Okay? You know, some people actually will say, oh, it doesn't have to be anything like that. No, yeah. You need to calm down. Nobody's asking you to sleep with your ex. But you need a little bit more than the label of co-parenting. Because we're human beings. I'm telling you. You can't... This idea you're going to put us in a scientific box is co-parenting and it must be spelled out with all of these lines and no boundaries must, because you're lying to yourself. We're human beings. You will need to manage that relationship. The other person will need to manage the relationship with you. And if it's toxic, you might have to let it go sometimes. Okay. I think he also realizes that his father does not have anything positive to give and is grappling. If he says what he needs, Emeka will give him the opposite. Yeah, he's struggling. That's why he's getting to that temporary conclusion, short term. Let me, I don't need anything from him. Or maybe we can translate that to, I don't need money from him. I just need him to be my father. I just need him to, just peace, right? It's a cry for help. Exactly, one chance. Exactly. Toby on Tribe says he doesn't want anything to do with the version of his father he's currently experiencing. Yes. He wants a more loving and stable version of him. Of course. Yes, absolutely. How dare that boy say he doesn't need his father? Just calm down. Baba, educate Arai. Joe. Please go educate yourself. Okay? Because this is the reality of the world you live in. You need to understand how it works. The world does not start and end at your traditions. He doesn't at your job. So why would you think it's ended there? In reality, you need more emotional intelligence. You need to remain a student of emotional intelligence. There's a reason why a child will be looking at you like this and you're his father and he said, I don't need you. The reason is beyond the dropout of school. That is a lame excuse to not engage the education that you need.
Told me to go crush my head by a truck, right? That was the line. I'm dead to this one. Don't think different.
How does this family, your family, your kids, how do you guys heal? This is a lot.
I think I still plan on getting a therapist. I think we still need a therapist because we are damaged. We are all damaged.
Do you hear accountability? Does anybody hear accountability, or is it just me? Does anybody hear accountability, or is it just me? This woman is just here, according to some lame ass people. This woman is just here to come and drag her ex-husband, bring in her son to come and bash him. She's not perfect. I just want to hear we're damaged. We need help. That's all it takes. That's a good starting point. Nobody has it all figured out, but that's a great starting point. Say, we clearly don't know what we're doing. We're damaged.
Yeah.
We are all in that space, and I plan that we will need a therapist because we take one step forward, this man brings us 10 steps back, and we're not, making any headway. Yeah. And there are a lot of emotions buried deep, but it's like a volcano. It's going to erupt very soon.
Wow.
Kind of thing. And I really don't have the money, but it's something that I'm planning to do.
Wow, I didn't hear that part the first time I listened to it. She said, I don't really have the money, but...
Because we really need to. Because sometimes it's difficult, trying...
If it's somebody looking to donate money for somebody's limbs chopped off, maybe we understand that more. This is very important. This is just as important. Not more, but this is just as important. This is just as important.
So tell them things, and I know what they tell me back. You understand? It's still, the snippets are still there. Yeah. Sometimes I have to tell them, it's not my fault I left. You need to forgive me. It's not my fault. I left, but I came back. You understand? I got myself together and I came back. And maybe God took me out to prepare me for this future. Because if I was still his wife, where would we be? We're not beautiful.
Who knows? Maybe in the same place where Bimbo is. Bimbo and IVD. Right? Why would anybody want you to stay in a situation? Why would anybody justify that by going the angle of you're a shameless mother, you shouldn't have brought your son? All of that does not matter. There was a very toxic situation going on. It doesn't that's why I keep saying right and wrong. We'll get lost in that shuffle. You are focused on the right and wrong of this one. We're focused on the right and wrong of this one. Say slap and first or denieni. So slap first. That means you slap back or denieni. Is that what we're talking about? It was a terrible situation. She needed to leave. And he needs to let go of whatever they had back then that he's hanging on to. Letting go is one of the hardest things for human beings to do. He needs to let go. Those are your best chances of a better future. You need to let go.
We're not building the home. We're not doing anything. We're just, So if God had taken me out and got me ready for where we are now, I'm much stronger and I've built myself and I can stand and I can carry you people, to an extent, that kind of thing, and be behind you, be your pillar, even as you are also my pillar.
I'm looking for the right time to formally do this. Probably when I get signed.
He keeps promising me houses, cars,
I can
And
see
I
it's
tell
going
him
to
I
deliver.
want a truck. So I'll be off.
She finally smiled. She's numb. All right. They're probably just tired. Okay. And by the way, Emeka Ike is tired himself. Okay. Stop. Just stop the bleeding. It's the first chapter in the book, Get My Marriage Back. Stop the bleeding. Okay. Just stop everything first. Okay. The Shalaye, it's going to make matters worse. The first chapter, you can download it for free at loveandprestige.com. The Shalaye will only make matters worse. Okay?
There.
I keep waiting for the right time to apologize for everything I didn't know I was doing to her.
He wants to
Change is good.
he wants to apologize for all the things he didn't know he was doing to her. Wow. Hold on.
I keep waiting for the right time to apologize for everything I didn't know I was doing to her. Because my dad would send me videos of her crying. I feel it inside that was going on. But then he'd say, "This is drugs. These are drugs. These are drug addict."
These are drugs.
You send
Drug
pictures
addict.
of her crying and say it is the drug.
During court, we found out that he will make videos. You know, I told you he had arrested my friend. And,
So
you know,
d- So this is the assumption that a lot of people were making, but on the other side, that she was manipulating the son. But it was actually him that was doing that. What is it about you that you couldn't, if you were going to assume, that you couldn't assume in the other direction first? What was it about you that you couldn't assume that? Or at least wait for the rest of the interview to come out. What is it about you that you couldn't wait? Because even still at the end of this interview, we still don't know. We're just hearing their words. We're just, again, making an assumption of what we've seen. Most likely, we're probably going to be right. Nobody's waiting for second chances anyway, right? But if you assume that this woman was manipulating this grown man, what was it about you? A weirdo, Annelia or somebody just said, I believe her husband. Let me see what they left that comment on. I wonder what they're talking about. If it's Emeka Ike's story. Okay, so it's not. It was the Simone Bailey. See how I just made an assumption? How I just made a boo-boo of that? What was it about you that couldn't be patient? Exactly, Nani. Exactly. It's about you. It's about you. People interpret things based on their fears and pain. It's about you. Something about you. And it's something that needs to be checked. Because it's right in front of us. I think you were wrong. If you were the person who assumed that this woman was manipulating this grown man, you were wrong. And that needs to be assessed because it's dangerous. See, Emeka, Ike, and the wife, and they'll live their life. They'll figure it out. This is their own cross they're carrying. What about that? What about you, though? Yours is very silent. You're not Emeka Ike. But regardless, regardless, you could collect.
Sorry.
It's coming. You just have to be patient. Not to see I'll come right to you after this. We're almost done.
What's it called? The SARS and all that. So there was a time that the guy who was helping me look for a job, it was a church member, and I was close to him and his wife. And she just had a baby, three months old baby, and so when she saw me, she pounced on me and was trying to beat me up. That I brought her family to this, embarrassment and all that. He was videoing all those things and he was showing it to them. In court, he'll pretend he's making a call, and then the flash of the camera would come up and so he was doing all that.
So you want to apologize?
That's extreme.
And I will still do that. So you guys should wait for the apology video.
I don't think he needs to apologize.
But
I
will.
think that we, his parents, their parents, should be the ones apologizing. Sometimes I regret leaving.
So one parent is saying we need to apologize to our kids. The other parent say go and jump truck. Are you paying attention? Are you still here with me? Right? We're patient. We're playing it for you right now. Okay. One parent said we need to apologize to the children. The other parent said go and jump truck. And somebody is still sitting there trying to justify it with the story of their grandparent and grandfather who used to curse at them and say they should go and jump truck.
Not be juju be that.
There was a time that I regretted leaving when I saw the state they were in. And I was like, I should have stayed. And I started understanding why some women stay. They take everything, why they stay. I started understanding why people commit suicide. I started understanding things. Do you understand? And honestly, I will reach out to him. Stop this for the children's sake. You're done.
That's where that came from. That's the reason why she says she will reach out. Stop this for the children's sake. That's all she's saying. That's all she's saying. Right?
Honestly, I will reach out to him. Stop this for the children's sake. You're damaging them. You're damaging them. You know, and unfortunately...
Did you see that deep breath that boy just made? Did you see the deep breath that young man just made? Let me play it back for you. Thank God for technology.
You're damaging them. You're damaging them. You know, and unfortunately, I would say he's the one that brought them in our midst. It didn't have to be. I have friends who have left their husbands and they were still connecting with their kids. They were still seeing their kids. Their kids go to them and, you know, they go to their kids. I wanted that.
Somebody's go, oh, you have friends that left their husband? Oh, no wonder. Baba, you need education. Go to school. Because that's not what you were supposed to hear in that part.
I wanted us to be...
I know you well. I know you. I've been having this conversation for a while. I know.
Cordial. We have 4 kids. 4, not 1, not 2, 4. You understand? So I think we owe them that apology, not them.
Wow.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Wow. 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 She said we owe them apology, not them. Natu.
Wow.
You two took deep breath, eh?
Bro.
Oh my God.
Wow. Wow.
This is real. This is real.
Wow.
This is real.
You know what the mother said? Let me tell you what the mother said at the end, right? It's very, very important. And I'm going to pick a scenario for you. My parents had 7 kids in total, right? 2 had passed. The first one passed the day that she had him, and the one that was next to us
you say your aunt? Did you say your aunt?
My parents.
Your parents.
My parents.
Yeah. Your parent did what? You sound echoey. It's all background echo.
They had 7 kids in total.
I'm hearing a lot of echo in your
second.
background. Yeah. Let's see here. All right. Okay. Say that again. Let me
Can you
hear
hear
it.
me now?
Oh, it's much better. Try again. I'll mute.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, so my parents had a total of 7 kids in total. The first one passed when my mom had him. The second one is the one next to us, Ido. He passed when he was 5. So my mom and my father's siblings had a good relationship before, and then all of a sudden, when my brother passed, my mom said she doesn't want to add more kids, and they started pressuring my dad to have a male child for him to carry on with his legacy. So they started having like a really bad relationship with my mom. And rumors came up that they used witchcraft in killing my mother's 2 sons. And then
Wait. Somebody accused somebody of using witchcraft to kill. Are you there? Is it me or her? Yeah, our network is not strong. Your network is not strong, Natu. You wanna drop in and drop out and make sure
is it
you have
is it
strong.
my network or your network?
It's you. Mine looks strong. I will see signals here if it's wrong.
How about me now?
I can hear you now. But make
Okay,
sure you
so
stick with a stronger
yeah, so
network.
rumors got to my mom, right? That they were responsible of her two sons that passed. And now they're pressuring her husband to get a second wife to get a male child because some of his brothers has two wives and three. So their relationship became bad. You understand? And it never got better. And then my mom later got pregnant. I have my younger brother who is now like 27. So I don't really know what happened, but there was a time that they had like a really heated argument between my father's siblings, my father's elder brothers, and sorry, his siblings with some younger ones, my dad and my mom. So before then, my mom was supposed to go to her brother's house because the wife was sick. So she was going to help take care of the wife. So after the argument, she was supposed to leave like the next day, but after the argument and everything, she was like, I'm just going to go today. And she left. So I think she was supposed to spend a week. And so because of everything that happened, she stayed longer. So all of us now thought that it was because of what happened that she didn't want to come back, or maybe she's not coming back.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So my younger brother at that time was 6. And he wrote a letter I think he was 7. And he wrote a letter to my mom. No joke. Nobody told him anything. He told my mom that he thinks she's gone for too long and this house is not the same without her. And I'm going to tell you, no joke, my dad was upset with us. He said that we cajoled our brother into writing the letter.
Right.
And then our mom brainwashed us. But nobody ever knew that boy wrote that letter.
Yeah.
So now with this whole Emeka Ike'S story, they were saying that the mom brainwashed the kids. The kids are washing. You don't need to brainwash them.
They are.
Do you
I
understand
watch
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we know the people that my mom were like extremely good to them. They went to school in Kaduna. They were coming to our house to pick food all the time. And the same people were going against my mom. My mom don't need to tell us that don't talk to that person. Because we know when you were coming to fetch rice and Maggi and beans in our house. And then all of a sudden now you want to turn out to be the one against us, like, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Exactly.
There's a gross assumption that kids are not paying
Thank
attention.
you. So them saying this and that, and what I'm really grateful for, because at some point when we're all growing, anytime anything happens after morning devotion, if we tell our parents, can everybody sit down? We have something to say. I'm not joking. Our parents will sit down, and everybody will say what's in their mind, and our parents will apologize. That's one thing we're grateful for. You understand what I'm saying?
That's so rare.
Yeah. So that's why every time I mess around and I say my parents are not your regular parents, that's like literally what I mean. So when this woman was saying that we're the ones that were supposed to apologize to them, I can relate, like 100% relate. When my parents started getting older,
many people cannot relate. Many people that doesn't even make any sense because they've never experienced it. So they're like, "Are you mad?
Exactly.
You want mommy to come apologize to you?"
That gave us so much healing. When my dad passed, right, my mom literally apologized to me in front of everyone. She said, out of all the kids, I'm the one person that always focused on their health. And she felt that they've been taking that for granted. And she believed that if my dad had done so much that I've told him to do, he probably would still be here. So she wants to apologize on his behalf and tell me that she's going to take her health serious.
Yeah.
And everybody in the room was looking at her like, is this woman okay? But that's the norm in our house. Yeah. That's the norm. Like, it doesn't take
we need to normalize that. It's just it's not the apology, it's the paying attention to like, hey,
and it doesn't make them less of our parents for saying that sorry. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because some parents feel like if I apologize to you, like I'm your dad, why should I apologize?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But it does not. But I really salute the woman because you could see so much growth in her from what she was saying, like at the end, she was taking so much accountability. You know, she said sometimes I kind of like regret leaving, but if I had stayed, where would we have been? We probably would have been in the same spot. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Or worse.
Yeah. And see her telling the kids that he does, that's who he is. All you need to do is you change how you relate to him. You have to understand him better
That's
and
grace.
relate to you. Exactly.
That's grace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this guy doesn't even know what this woman is doing behind him on his behalf to the kids. But he's
Right.
here
That's the
fighting her.
thing with grace. You don't know when you're getting grace, so don't wait until you see it before you give it.
He's fighting her.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's really crazy. But I see so much the woman is doing, and it takes so much. She's really brave. It takes
Did you
so much
know?
courage.
Did you know? Emeka actually said the best way to know if a man beats his wife is to ask the children.
No, it's to see how he's talking.
Can you imagine?
Because
Just
you can tell
shooting himself on the legs everywhere.
Like, you know how you always say you tell on yourself? That's what he's doing. He's just telling on himself.
That's why I said stop. Just stop, bros. Like, go and get help.
On himself, honestly speaking. And the whole thing is so gross. Like, people like, you're getting old.
Yeah.
I don't know how his new wife is coping. I don't know how she's taking this.
Yeah, she's probably just the favorite now, until further notice.
What's the right?
That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario.
She said she's not on the internet, so she's not seeing all we are doing.
The internet is being hidden from the world. She can't sign up for internet anytime.
Which sign up? People around her will see it and send it to her.
All of like I said earlier, TV, social media, all of it is the same thing.
Everything is social media.
It's all linked. It's all of it. So somebody might not be actively on social media. Many of them here, there's no face, just the letter you see. Right? They're on social media. You tell me? They're on social media. It's not what they're saying out, it's what they're hearing that will start looking at themselves as sure, see one come by.
And you know what?
Did I enter one chance?
The news fast, especially bad news, they travel faster.
Right.
And you know,
they travel fast, yeah.
Another thing that I noticed, I don't know if Emeka is in tune with I'm trying to look for the right word to use. Is in tune with how social media works and how the world has evolved. I don't know.
No, he's definitely out of touch. Like
I don't know what village he's staying in Germany. I don't know what they use there. But the way he's talking, I'm like, bro, this is not that time. Please. This Gen Z, the shame, when they born them, shame no, they shame gravel. They will drive you by your block.
Because we don't own them. You don't own your children. It's a privilege to have them. It's just additional relationships because relationships are a blessing to all of us, right? It's just additional relationships for you to nurture because their time with you is limited. They're going to move on and be their own persons. Yes. And the Gen Z is in tune with that. So if it comes down to, hey, this is draining me, they will do what they have to do. It's easier for them, obviously, than you that say, hey, you can curse at the people in your life and it should be okay. We should normalize it. They don't operate that way.
No, it doesn't.
And there's only one side of this equation that will miss out the most because of your emotional attachment to human beings that are not really yours in the grand scheme of things.
That's right.
So Lady Tam, you're absolutely on point. The further we move into the future, we'll realize that it's a privilege to have these relationships. It's not a right.
Yes, I'm telling you. Another thing that he needs to, because a lot of parents send their kids to school, like when we're growing up back in the day, children are their parents' investment, so that when they retire, they can benefit of their children. But now Gen Z are trying to tell you about your retirement plans.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that. They can. You have to give into that before you should be expecting, right?
Yeah.
So the reality is
that
even
people that give.
Let's expand it out, right? Let's expand it out. You're just as strong as your net worth, your network, the people around you, your relationships. Even if you don't have biological children, if you grow old, you become 100 and you die and they want to bury you, will get a befitting burial if you have good relationships. Right. It's beyond your biological children. You can invest into all your relationships, which obviously includes your children. And what we're trying to say right now, the way you invest is not just cash, you send them to school. We're talking about emotionally speaking now. You need to invest in your relationships and especially your kids, because we already know that it's going to hurt you the most when your kids decide to turn their back on you and you're not able to comprehend why.
He's going to be an old, miserable man. He's going to be a miserable old man, sorry. I'm telling you, because by the time he gets old, he'll be by himself.
Yeah.
Those kids do not have his time.
Let's let Brother Ben. Brother Ben, how far? How you there? Brother Ben, you did there? Have you know he don't leave? Brother Ben, where did you go? He left. I didn't know when he left. Toby and Tribe says, apologizing to your kids when wrong shows them they are worth respect, which in turn helps with their self-esteem. Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm glad she's taking, Lady Thames, I'm glad she's taking accountability and willing to apologize to her kids. Great lesson for their son to emulate. Not apologize to him, to their kids, is what she said. Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's going to be a big deal for the kids, honestly speaking.
Of course, you know. If you apologize to Emeka right now, it's a bad idea.
No, that's why I say I don't advise her going to him.
Don't do that to him. You will hurt him if you apologize to him right now. You might just misinterpret
I told
that.
You,
I was right.
Was wrong. That's why she came.
You don't. If you apologize to Emeka right now, you don't like him. You don't like him. I'm telling you right now.
She's coming to apologize. If she's not wrong, why is she apologizing? That's what I'm going to keep saying.
But Ben says network. Okay, Emeka is a local champion and he still thinks it was then when he had relevance. He's missing it. He's completely disconnected, which is why he lost in the first place, you know. But no.
Mr. Ola.
How you doing, my guy?
I'm good.
Yes, sir.
Prestige Farm, how is everybody doing?
Salute.
Yeah, Mr. Ola. Yeah, Sister Natu, how are you doing, my sister?
I'm doing
Merry
well,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Yeah, this matter, and I really don't want to go into Emeka and his wife's situation. But I just want to talk about the son, because this one kind of hits close to me. You know, I think I've been in the exact position where the boy is. The only difference is my dad was late, but I experienced every bit of this craziness Emeka is doing to the family from my uncles and all other people from my father's side. So I can relate. And what I wanted to emphasize is this, because when I post something on my Facebook page and I simply ask that Emeka should just apologize and let it slide, no need of opening Pandora's box.
Right.
I got over 2,000 plus Emeka armies on my Facebook page.
But I mean, you're about to get me into that. Oh my God. You know, I thought about reacting to it today. If the story continues, I might still come to your wall and show it to everybody. Oh my gosh.
That was crazy. It's still going. It's almost 3,000 comments now.
Really? They're still going at it?
I don't even care. I don't even look at them, because it seems for the first time, I 100% agree with what Auntie B has been saying, and you and every sisters on Obodo Farm about Nigerian men.
It's like in your face.
I'm telling you. And I 1,000% agree with Pastor Shola when he said Nigerian men have mental health problem. Brother,
they need education. They do.
I'm telling you, I have the video. The video of Pastor Shola actually saying that is still on my Facebook. I can send it to you. When he said Nigerian men have mental issues, that we have to start mental health program in Nigeria. This Emeka situation have really opened my eyes to that. Because when I listened to that interview, from the moment the wife said Emeka did not allow her to work, I'm already like, okay, this is it. Nothing else again. Because in my own dictionary, when a man stops women from working, it simply means you want to own her. You want to control her.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me. Now, like I said, I don't have time to go into who is right, who is wrong, but I just want to talk briefly about the son. Because when I post and said Emeka should just apologize and moved on, everybody came at me like, why? That son is this, that son is that. The boy will regret. The boy will his cousin. And
They said, but no, this is not how you build a page. You like, Tiny battle sorrow, like Jesus Christ. Baba, you just left the comment.
It was just, I was reading and I'm like, at this time and age, people still don't understand childhood trauma and how long it could go.
Yeah.
I'm a 46 years old man now, and my father's family, the few ones that are still remaining alive, they are still suffering from what they did to my mom when I was 14 years old. Yes, as I'm speaking with you right now, I don't give nothing about them. They've done everything, and I came out and tell them pop and play that, look, make una just remove me from a dictionary.
Because you saw it, because it's easier because your mother, you can see how they're treating her.
Brother, I witnessed it firsthand. So when people say, oh, the mother is using the boy against his dad, I just laugh like, it be like, oh, that people with the
they just heard one side.
From age 14 to age 18, my dad's family arrested my mom more than 6 times.
On what grounds?
Nothing, no, I can't even lay my hands on it. The only thing, because at a point I have to sat my elder sister down and say, please. That was after my mom was late in 2022. I said, Auntie me, I really want to understand what exactly my mom did wrong.
Yeah.
That this family treated her this bad. My mom did nothing. All my mom did was, when my dad was alive.
So that mental health issue thing would make sense, because if your mom did nothing, if all she did was occupying a position that some people consider their territory, if that's all she did.
Her crime was being an industrial woman who had business with my dad. My mom was into supplying and distribution of cement. My dad was a contractor. So when my dad had any contract, my mom would be the one to supply the cement and roof. You know those, how do they call this? Those zinc they used in those days to build house, and they call one asbestos. I don't know what they call it.
Yes. The roof, whatever they call it. Yeah.
My mom was the one who used to supply all that. So when my dad died, the money, that was where the whole thing started. Just because of the money that my dad was going to pay my mom and some money that they were still, back then you had to finish the contract before the government will settle you. Just because dad was late and the money now you have to that was
That's
where
a war.
It started. All this started way back in 1979 when my dad, where we lost my dad. So with 8 children, my mom was kicked out of my own papa house. So this got
with 8
deep.
children.
With 8 children, she's the only one who has to take us all over the place. So when I grew up in Lagos. By age 12 to 14, when I went back to live with my mom, that's when I saw everything fully. At age 14, Naija pikin now. Age 14, you don't already dey smart. It's not this.
At 14, you're a grown person already. The only reason why you're not a grown person is we have a legal age, 18 and 21. But at 14, you know what's going on. You know what's going. A lot of your opinions are being formulated that will affect the rest of your life.
Honestly. So it was like that. So when I look at this Emeka's son's situation, I know that boy, even it's not even him alone. We are all guilty of that. All men, we want to protect our mom.
Right.
It doesn't matter whether you call her Winch or whatever name you give to her. Our mom is our mom. So far, our mom is not treating us bad. She is not. I don't care. Everybody wants to protect their mom. That is fine. But in a situation in this modern day with these Gen Z kids, I don't get it, me brother. That's why during Anti-B show, I just don't want to talk because I'm really
But Ben, with these examples, before you know it, you will see enough pattern, you will get it. You know what I'm saying? It's human beings. Everybody cares about something, and We don't care about the things we used to care about. That's all. That's why Gen Z say, okay, this relationships is a given. It's always going to be there. Human beings will continue to care about relationship, but the one that serves them, they have options. They will discard you just because you are father. You think they will keep you and just take care of your old faith. Just do it because the Bible said, "Aba, you go collect to." They will find another father to replace that. They will get that blessing still. They will find another father to replace you, and they will still get that the scriptural blessing that comes with honoring your father and your mother. Because we're talking about mental health.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Which old, who go take care of them for which old age? The only person I care about from my father's side.
But I been hold on. But I been hold on, Joe. Thank you, Latu. Go ahead, Brother Ben.
Yeah, the only person I care about from my father's side was my late uncle, because he was the only one who, when I went back to Ondo State and I was struggling so bad, he was the only one who took me in.
Yeah.
And that is why, even before I left Lagos, I did everything I can for his children, the ones that are younger than me. I set them up before he was late. But other than him, right now, this old age team, just like I was telling some of these crazy people on my post, may they just go reset their brain. When some people say, oh, and the son will regret karma, I'm telling you, there is nothing like no freaky karma. As I am right now, I can't even, I've lost count of how many of them will don't die. Some of them will be in hospital, they will come.
The karma day in front of us. Does Emeka Ike, does he not look like somebody that's catching karma already? Does he need his child to give him karma? Karma Yara one brain now, you know. I'm looking at somebody on your page. I'm not going to read their name. It says, I will keep telling you, God should not put you under pressure. You can say anything out of anger, and you never meant any word. A piece of advice for everyone. Thanks. So I submit. The person thought they said something that made sense.
Justifying nonsense.
This was my answer. I went to Brother Ben's space to go and look for smoke, to go and look for violence. I said, amen. God also teaches us to learn how to manage temperament is a real skill. Oh, God will also teach us to learn that managing temperament is a real skill we can find useful when inevitable pressure happens in life.
Thank you.
I saw that and I was laughing. I was laughing like, Mr. Allah, what are you doing?
I was looking for smoke. One of them said, why do we always judge a matter we know nothing about except what they choose to share? You know, obviously they're using our same line, right? Because I say that too, right? One needs to not be told that there is much more to husband and wife than all this. The boy in question, okay, forget the man in question. The boy in question only shared the part of the audio that suits him and the narrative and never the full audio. Somebody said, no, I said before, Uncle, a man should never talk like that. If it's a mistake, he needs to be corrected. So so the same guy now came back and said, matter of prestige, if you want to be honest, you will understand that some parents have said words to their kids, yet never meant it. Muni, I agree, we know this, but they are all wrong. And they create lasting damages, such as people. There's one in particular that I was looking for. That one, I said, you have no evidence or something. I said, this is just Shalaye. And he said something in Igbo. I forgot. I don't know what he said because I don't know what it means, so it didn't matter to me. But he now said something to maybe a lack of comprehension. Muni, exactly. No evidence. No evidence, way. There are many of them like that.
Please.
You can explain. No evidence. Oh my God. First of all, make I explain this one. I beg. Make I explain this one real quick. Shout out to Nani for the £10 super chat. Thanks for telling me that is that £10 or €10? I'm not sure. Woman confused me, but either way, I like it. Thank you so much. Anyway, I want to finish on time. We got about 8 more minutes. I think we've done. I should let this rest, unless they say something.
Rest,
of course. Unless they say, I mean, I don't address people that don't say anything. If you say something, I will address it. we will extract our lessons out of it, you know.
But you know the problem, right? Emeka is not going to he's not going to stop talking. Tony is going to be very mad at him because he's not promoting the movie he's supposed to promote.
Oh, Sister Natu, you remember in the last Anti-B show when I tell you guys that Emeka will start going from one interview to another. He never even reached 1 week now. You saw what is happening.
You saw Azu's interview that I reacted to yesterday.
Oh,
that was I was sleepy when I saw that. I was like, this is content. Jesus. Ayola, shout out to Ayola. Say, I've been in Emeka's son's shoes. Unfortunately, my mom is late, so nobody can say my mom is manipulating us.
Yeah. I've been
These
there
kids
too.
are watching. You don't need to tell anybody anything. And let me tell you.
Whatever, before you go, Natu, whatever happened in front of me since I've been 5 years old, I know.
Yep.
I know.
I will tell you, bro. I will tell you from nursery school. From nursery school, I will tell you.
Auntie, I know what you did.
And that's why, let me tell you, that's why when our parents, let me tell you, I have a particular auntie that I know since I was little never liked me. And now wants to pretend to like me. I tell my mom, like, why is she for me? My mom is like, she's your auntie. I'm like, she never liked me. Mom was like, why will you say that? I said, I bring instances to my mom. And I told her about a Christmas cloth this woman bought for me in 1989.
Yeah.
I said, remember, I couldn't wear the clothes to church. My mom said, this weekend go kill me. How do you still remember that? I can still remember that now. Kids' brain are like magnets. You don't need to tell them. No.
They have nothing else going on. That's all they're doing, paying attention to everything that's going on.
When my dad passed, somebody was trying to talk to me. He was like, he doesn't know what happened between my mom and them. Everything used to be good before. He's my cousin now. When I opened the guy's dictionary, his own, not other people, I opened his own for him. I said, bros, you yourself, you used to come to our houses when we were in Malali. You were in Puli to come and fetch rice and maggi and oil inside Santana leather.
Yeah.
You have forgotten that one. If somebody tell you that my mother is a bad person, you're the one that will say she did. My mom never fetches to give him. She will tell him to go to the store and fetch by himself.
Imagine that.
That's as far back I can remember.
Yeah.
And he was so quiet. I say, you that you're coming between my father and my mother, so can't even talk to your wife.
Yeah.
I say, you can't talk to your wife. He say, hey, see, why would you say so? You know husband and wife. I say, husband and wife, leave husband and wife alone.
The least that the children are is confused. That's the least they are. From no to confused. The idea that they are completely ignorant of what's going on, that's where we mistake. They know. They might not be able to interpret it properly. They might act out of place. They might be acting up in school. Their grades might be affected by this situation. They might be confused. Okay? But somebody sat down and is manipulating them. It can happen. We just saw an example of it because he was showing pictures of her crying, according to the boy, who I believe, showing pictures of her crying and say, this is drugs. She left you. Now, that's crazy. That's crazy, you know.
Why would you do that?
But even when I see the way you act and I could have predicted that you did that, I will still give you benefit of the doubt. But this woman, the countenance I just saw right now, no, she was not no perfect woman because she used her mouth to say your husband is her husband, ex-husband, your father is a sore loser.
Yeah, she told me he was a jerk too, and she said it.
And she said that, but that's to be expected. There's some to be expected things there. One of the to be expected things is not outrightly telling your children to go and hit the truck. Like, come on, stop. Like, no, there's no way to justify that. I can justify she was upset. She said to her son, your father is a sore loser. Please accept him. I can see through all of that. But if she's the one that said hit a truck, we will say the same thing. But we could also predict that she did not say that.
Yes.
We can tell now we're human beings. She did not say that to our child now. There's only one person we can say said that. Not only do we have evidence of that, but even his demeanor, his conduct says he will say something like that. And that's something that we can focus on, and don't worry about the young man. He has his own battles to fight. But Abeg, go ahead, Abeg.
Hey, Brola, I agree with everything you said 100%. But I also want to give the ex-wife credit. If Emeka tried this thing with some women after 10 years, even from that interview, now from there, Emeka go down, they collect bass from the wife they come. May go try am with any of these women now. I don't even know where this woman get this patient, cool, calm demeanor from.
The conversation will become, so you are using the Igbo people against us. You are destroying. That's what the conversation will become. They will not learn anything still. You will just hear, she called the police on me. She just called the police on you. If she just called the police on you, that's it. You have something else to tell me? So that is not big of a deal enough. It's a big deal. That's why I'm asking you. Tell me the rest of it. It's a big deal. For your wife to call the police on you, that's a big deal. Can you tell me the rest of the story? No, that's just bad. It shouldn't be. You're right. It shouldn't be where it is. Can you tell me the rest of the story? But, these are the issues we're dealing with. So we have to do what we're doing right now. Highlight these examples, these trendy topic examples, so you can see what it looks like when it's playing out. And Emeka, let me get some last word from you, ladies, and I'll give Emeka one last word. And
ladies first, or I should just quickly round up so that
Go
I can
ahead,
leave.
brother.
Thank you, Sister Natu. Well, my take is this: for those of us who are raising Gen Z, here is my advice to you guys, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart as a father to 3 children born in America and growing, living with them. These children are super smart. These kids have a mind of their own. Sometimes I tell my wife, babe, you might not realize it yet. We are living with 3 different personalities in this house. I have 2 girls and a son. My daughter is 15 plus. The other one will be 11 years old tomorrow, and my last boy is gonna be 8 years old by February. These three kids, Brola, are the switch between them. It's not how you attend to one of them. The kind of approach I used on one is not the approach I use on the other one.
Exactly.
They are smart. They are keeping records. They remember everything you do for them.
Yep.
So I'm just going to advise parents out there, for those people who still have the mentality, this Nigerian mentality, say, hey, I'm your father. Whatever I say, you do it right now. My brother, you go collect water. This children not send you. And my thing is, establish a bond with your children. You just have to practice this hot and cold. Be their friend when you are supposed to be their friend. Be the backup when you are supposed to be the backup. Mentor them. Show them the sweet side of you. They will see you for whom you are. That's just my advice. So if you think, because you divorce your wife and your wife will manipulate the kids, it's a lie. The kids are watching. They can they even understand the system. The other time, my 15-year-old daughter was explaining the situation in her friend's house to me. I don't even know much about how this, all these custody things, how it works. My daughter was the one who is explaining to me that when it was the dad's turn to come and pick the girl, the dad did not show up.
You will not know how it works in Jesus' name. You will not know how it works in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Because once you get in the hands of these people, Baba, you go collect.
So that's just my advice. Every parent should try. If you have any issue with your partner, your spouse, put it aside. Always remember that your relationship with your children matters because they have a mind of their own. Thank you, Sister Natu. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate you.
Yes, bro. Talk soon. All right.
I think Bro Ben has said like most of
Hold on. Before you go, let me see. Film girl is here.
Oh.
She decided to grace. She decided to. What's going on? How are you?
I'm fine, but I'm fine. Man of prestige. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Tim girl.
Yeah, how you doing, Nat? How's everything?
Good, good,
Oh,
good.
I don't have a lot to say because I know you're trying to get off the studio, so I'm going to be very quick.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have said everything that we have said about, kids being aware, and how our African construct, they want us to kind of have a kind of brainwave and forget what we saw and assume something else and love them
I just pretend.
unconditionally, pretend to love them without any basis, like if as if love is just you just bestow like you don't end you don't have, you have to end their love. Do you understand? Like they just think that you're just stupid. Just do what we say. He's your father. After like 40 years of him maltreating him and the kids and the mom, he just shows up one day and they're like, okay, he's your father. You have to love him. You have to forgive him. Like, that whole thing. But I'm not going to go into that. What I want to say is that for me, based on my experience and what I've seen, when I meet anybody or people are talking about a man, right, and they say, "Oh, he's such a nice person," or whatever, whatever, I have a problem believing people, believing them. I'm like, okay, let me ask his wife and his children. They are the people that will tell me exactly who this man is, because I've seen from experience that most men, I don't know how they do that thing. They have split personalities. Who he is at home, who he is at the job, who is in church are normally like three different human beings. I'm not saying everybody is like that, but I'm not saying
I
that
get you.
most people that are I don't want to use the N word, but people that have that characteristics of
Right.
being
They're not. You could say knock, like
like a knack or
narcissists.
something. Yeah, they always have split personality. So they come outside and I'm like, oh, they're so nice to people. Do you understand? But so when their wives or their children are complaining, they would be like, people like, no, we don't believe you because they are seeing a different person outside. So
Right.
I'm thinking these things have happened over a couple of times. Why are we pretending that men don't have these characteristics? Why are we being that naive to believe when we see a guy outside being nice and his wife or his child is telling you
Right.
he's not that nice? You should know better. We're not that naive. We have seen it happen over and over and over again. I mean, we should stop this rubbish. If a child, if I say the wife is lying, but a child is coming to tell you about the dad,
Right.
huh, believe that child. Because it takes a lot for a child to just lie on their father like that. It takes a lot. It's
A grown man for that
a
matter.
grown man. It's not possible. It doesn't work. It's a child that really knows what is happening.
Yeah.
Because I've seen where a case of, I know people do it a lot. I'm sorry, I'm just being, but from that I observe life from my gender as a woman, right? So my observation is that it's very funny how even from relationships, even as Natu is here like that, think about people that you have dated, right? Maybe he's like saying something to you, and then maybe you guys have a quarrel or a fight, and then later you're not presenting it back to him and like, oh, you did this. You're like, me? I did that. No, I did not do it. They start denying. They say, no, I
Yep.
didn't say that. You be like, you said it, the tone. He said, I didn't say that. Or you
Right.
or when he's trying to
It's a
report
lie.
the situation to somebody,
You're
he's
a
like,
liar. I'm a liar.
like when he's trying to report the situation to somebody, you see the man saying, I just told her to stop doing it. You'd be like, no, you did not say it in that tone. You said it in a very harsh way. You'd be like, no, I didn't. They always lie and deny and forget. I don't know how they forget or I don't know how but they try and like gaslight women a lot with that.
Right.
So it's possible that you can see the woman reacting outside, but ask your question, what is triggering her inside? Do you understand? But I just want us to realize, want us as a people to stop being naive and stop believing everything a man tells us, especially when his wife and his child is telling you something else. If they're saying something else, then maybe
You have
begin
to
to
pay
ask.
attention to that.
Yes, it's possible that this man might actually be lying to us outside. So I don't blame all those people that came on that the Freezy show, another show. I was saying, oh, he's such a nice person. What do you know? You're not in the bedroom with them.
I know, right?
You don't know this
I,
man. You don't
yeah,
know him.
I've seen. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen some of them.
Yeah, you
It
don't
was
know
the
this man.
weirdest, and I'm like, okay, Allah, calm down. These people are probably, like you said, they're naive.
Yeah.
You
You can't
know
tell me that we used to relate on the movie set. He was a
what does that
gentleman.
mean?
What does that mean? He's a gentleman to you. He has nothing to he has nothing to like to argue with you about. Of course, he'll be a gentleman. When goes back home, who is he at home? So
Exactly.
and they use this their
half truths to try and convince millions of people
with small poison.
to sway them to that side that the wife
80% true to small poison.
Yeah, the wife is evil and all that. Let's stop. I'm not supporting anybody. Obviously, there's a problem in that marriage, right?
Yes,
The one that I actually got, triggered was when I heard there was domestic violence, which the child is confirming. I like, for that fact alone, I was just triggered. Like, this one is wrong. But on every other issue, I'm not supporting anybody because this is a marriage. There are two people. Every marriage has its problems, right? So everybody's going to walk through their problems. So we cannot be even you that is pointing finger. How about your own marriage as well? Do you understand? So like, people should stop all this stuff and supporting the man and supporting the woman. That's not the point.
No, it's not the point. We don't know.
Exactly.
But we can see what we can see and say something was wrong with this situation.
Yeah.
And all we can work with is how they are moving in front of us on the screens.
Exactly. You are coming out, your body language, you are fighting anybody, you are fought film association people, you are saying how you are attacking people up front, you are showing that whatever, you are showing that you are actually the aggressor. And this woman is looking calm and whatever. She's saying, this guy is an aggressor. And the child is saying, this guy is an aggressor. If A and B is saying the same about C is an aggressor. I believe them.
Yeah.
It's who he is, and he doesn't think is the problem. He feels that that everybody's against him. No, nobody's not against you. You're the one that is fighting yourself and
exactly. We believe you don't collect.
Yeah, having imaginations in your mind that people are. The guy is just
the blackmail, the senators.
Yeah, he's just imagining things, and I've met people like that. That's the reason why I know it's possible. I've met people like that just have a corner. Like all these men that, like I've dated someone like that before, right? You don't sit down and start imagining you're cheating. You're cheating how? Nibo. Okay, I was in a meeting. I was in sales then, and then you call me and I put my phone on speaker, right? For you to know that you can hear people talking. Then you send me a text and tell me, oh, you're busy hanging out with your friends and laughing and talking about me. I'm like, how does that even happen?
Talking about me, Bitibao.
Yeah, so there are people like that, and this is a business meeting, right? And he could hear what they are saying. So I'm thinking, this guy is obviously, there's something wrong. How did you imagine all that stuff? So it's possible that this guy is imagining a lot of things that did not even happen.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Insecurity will do that to you. Insecurity will do that to you.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say. Please, let us stop being naive. Let's with all the things, I'm not a lot that has all the facts and whatever, but the truth about it, based on what we have seen in our society so far, it is possible for a man to be so nice at his job, so nice in church, so nice to people outside, and be a mean person inside.
Absolutely.
You understand me? In my own case, I'm going to say one thing about my dad. My dad was someone that would give people ₦1 million cash outside. He would give people right in front of us 500,000 naira, 2 million, all that, but he can't give me 1,000 naira.
Emeka Ike actually admitted to that. He said packaging kill me. Did you catch that yesterday? Anybody catch that yesterday?
Well, yeah. So there's nothing you can tell me. If you tell my dad he's a generous man, I will tell you no, he's not. Because to me, he wasn't generous.
He wasn't. That's not the experience you had at home.
Yeah, because he can't give me 500 naira, but he gave you 5 million, and you're so happy.
It was buying honor. So there's a proverb in Yoruba, on your wool having rayi.
Yeah.
They buy honor outside, and they expect you inside to kind of understand.
It's not as if he did not have excess. Like you have excess. Like it's not as if he gave out and there was nothing left. He had the excess. You'll be looking at the money like this, because then those days we do a lot of cash. Back in those days, you see cash.
You see cash in the drawers and stuff.
I'll be seeing a trunk of cash looking at me. You cannot take 500 naira and give to me. But from that same cash, someone will come in and you count 500,000 and give to the person. So as a child, what does that do to you as a child? You'll be thinking,
Yeah.
So, nobody can tell me anything. Men can be different at home, and that is the true nature of those men.
Yeah. People can be different at home and show you a different version of themselves outside.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what's happening with Emeka. Let's believe the people that live in that house with him.
Yep.
All right.
Except the PA guy, the finger guy.
That PA PA is just being bro code. That PA is just being bro code and it's just delusional.
That PA is chasing clouds. Not
I'm
doing
telling
any
you,
code.
that
He's
one is
chasing
just being bro
clouds.
code and chasing
I know
clouds.
he is. I stumbled into him on TikTok. I was like, only. I stumbled into him on TikTok.
He's lying. He's trying to find a way to get back into Emeka's good grace.
To limelight.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he's an industry guy actually. He's just trying to get into.
He's just lying. He's telling lots of lies.
Yeah.
Anyway, as well.
All right, thank you, film girl. Thank you
Good
for
night,
always
everybody.
supporting.
Bye,
All right.
Matthew. Bye.
All right, not to give me your last word so I can round this thing
think
up.
that Emeka is coming back to revive his career and he's doing this rubbish. Say that career never entered Potter be that.
I don't know. At least his reputation, if he keeps it up, he will be a Yule. Nobody will want to work with him. Did you notice that Yule is already parading podcasts talking about he's been blacklisted? He's saying it in one sideways. I was like, this guy, nobody wants to work with that now. Like, of
Nobody
course.
wants drama. Nobody wants that. Now Emeka is supposed to be up there promoting Malaika. He's here talking about all the family issues that people are talking about. So people are inviting him on their show to talk about his issues, not about the movie that he was in.
Yeah, and nobody. So this is how it works, right? Nobody's gonna want to have him if he's not going to talk about the drama to get traffic to them.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So he shot himself on the legs. Now he can deceive them if he has the game, but he doesn't. I can see he doesn't have the game. He can say, "No, we could talk about everything, but just learn how to answer it without giving too much."
You know what I'm saying? And also, if he was smart, right? This is what I expect from him. When they start asking him about his wife, he's like, okay, before I tell you about that one, let me tell you about why I'm here. Then you start talking about the movie. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just carry them and just wind
So
them.
how's everything on the family? And family is good. You know what else is good? This movie, Malaika.
Exactly.
You need to see this movie. Trust me. You want to know my story? You need to watch this movie.
That is where emotional intelligence. Listen, I'm telling you,
I do that here all the time.
2024, if you don't have emotional intelligence and social intelligence, is a crime. You go to.
You'll be dragged because there's enough weirdos to drag you.
You will enter Gen Z jail. You enter Generation Alpha jail.
Generation Alpha, and then somebody was trying to correct Brother Ben that you are raising Generation Alpha, not Gen Z.
Yes, yes. Two of his kids are Alpha. They're not Gen Z. They're Alpha.
You go Shalaye Tire Generation Alpha to Gen Z. As far as Brother Ben is concerned, they're all the same. He said Alpha, Jesus help me. Jesus help me. No, you'll be fine, Brother Ben. You're in good. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Say, right, Brother Ben and Tim Girl have said it.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, we're not here to take sides as we do every time. We're here to pick out the lessons.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If we say that we want to go by the way our parents raised us, we will not win. Because we're in a different generation entirely.
Could it work now? You're in 2023.
Listen, let's go back. Let me give you this example. People that were back in the day that were going to deeper life and saying that TV and all these electronics make you become worldly and whatnot. What happened to them? Should they all have TVs in their house now? They moved from having computers in their house to because my uncle is one of the deeper life people. He's even a pastor.
By the time they start waking up to TV don't become obsolete itself.
They have exactly what I'm saying.
You buy TV for my kids right now, you're wasting your money.
If you don't want to do TV but you're having a phone, what's the difference? What's the difference? There's no difference. So we should stop lying to ourselves. Like I keep saying, I think there was a husband conversation with my husband. I'm like, when I was growing up, I wasn't an easy child. I was a very troublesome teenager. And my mom didn't deal with us all the same. Me and my elder sister will get beaten. My twin sister hardly gets beaten because her own is don't just talk to her. Once you start talking to her, you just reset.
The youth.
But exactly.
But some people, especially in that era, please don't do that these days. They need a conch to be reset.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I have to get that conch for my head to reset. But I can't apply that same logic to my kids, to my nephews now. No, it's not gonna work.
Right.
It's not gonna work. My nephew was here for Christmas and he was all over the place. I didn't beat him. I just told him that he's my helper for the day. So anywhere he sees me, he has to follow me and help me. That was the only way I was able to.
That's it.
I didn't have to touch him. I didn't have to touch him.
That's it.
So
in real life.
If I just turn and he's not beside me, I say, "Where's my helper?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he runs back to me. That's all. That's all.
Yep.
So we just have to know We just have to understand how to like be better parents, to parent better, on how to relate to our kids better.
Be
You're
better
not saying
parents,
that
be better brothers, be better sisters, be better
exactly,
husband,
be
be
better
better
kids.
wives.
We
You
should
know,
just
it's
be
the same
intentional in general.
principles. It's the same principles, but obviously how you apply it for any one of those things may be slightly different. But it's the same
Just be
principles.
intentional in general.
Yeah,
And also
yeah.
don't forget to extend grace.
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 Because you are getting grace. You
Yes.
don't know because you're not supposed to know, but you're
Yes.
getting grace from so
Yes.
many other people.
Yes. Yes.
Be intentional. I say, I'm going to extend grace. Don't
Yes.
use that to say, oh, so I shall allow boundary. No, it has nothing to do with
Yes.
that. There's grace, but there's also somebody clearly crossing boundary. Even how you address how they cross the boundary, grace will be applied in that too. You know.
True.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
All
Natu.
right.
All right. Talk some back. All right. This was awesome. I went over time. Really, I am actually 75 minutes over time. It's supposed to be a 2-hour show. So I'm going to start paying attention because I actually need to have a lot more going on starting tomorrow. So we're going to try to limit it to 2 hours. Shout out to all 83 of you watching me in the live stream. Good morning, Jojo. Shout out to all of you. Okay, hit that like button, share, subscribe on your way out. Tell everyone else about what we're doing here. We're doing some great work. Just help us share it. Tell them, share it to your favorite WhatsApp groups. Tell them to check it out. Right? Life is not right or wrong. Okay, it's not right and wrong. That's why there are court systems. Even the court system, you need evidence, and people end up in jail because of lack of evidence too. Just so you know. Okay, or just because the wrong angle, or just because they don't have the right influence. Sadly, that happens too. So it comes back to you. How are you moving? The only thing you can control in all of this is how you move. Your skill set around navigating life, love, and relationship. You know. As for Emeka, hopefully he seek the helps that he needs. We can hear it clearly, audibly. We can hear the wife, ex-wife, and the child say we're damaged. We need help. There's only one person that has not admitted to that yet. And I hope he gets to a point where he says, it's not a crime. I've gone through some things with my family. We have the rest of our life ahead of us. It's going to be awesome. We have some new opportunities showing up. Let's make sure we're prepared for it. Right? Let me make sure this young man, this is a part of me, an extension of me. I'm not going to mess around and no. Let's figure this out. Let's talk to someone that can help us. Okay? If you need other people to tell you you're right, before you know that you're rightfully here and it's a blessing and it's a privilege at the same time, Baba, you're going to suffer because nobody cares. Everybody just care about their own feelings, and that is a good thing because you care about your own feelings too. But when you say, like, for short term, you put your own feelings on the side. I said, this person care about their feelings, let me make sure they are good, and then suddenly they will make sure you're good, and that becomes your network, right? And then you have a lot more people taking care of you as opposed to yelling at the top of your lungs asking for your right. Baba, you don't really have a right. It's all privilege. Auntie, we know what you did though. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Hit that like button on your way out. I want to say thank you so much to Liz for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Natu, please, I beg, go and support Natu at Home of Quality and Style. What did she say? Right to wear? I don't know what RTW means. But go support her at qualisa.inc, and that's her phone number right there on the screen. Please support her business. She sells fragrances, and we've used them, and they're very nice. So we know. All right. So thank you, Natu. I appreciate you. Thank you, Latu, for the $5 super chat, and thank you to Nini for the £10 super sticker. I appreciate all of you. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Beautiful girl, sparkling I find a beautiful girl. It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.